Hello and welcome to Disney with the Ducks. I am your intro host for tonight's episode. This is episode 230, A Trio of Families Sails the Treasure. On this episode, it's so good, we're going to divide it up into two episodes, and this is part one, in which Jodie B introduces her special guests, Scotty G and Jared, as they discuss their recent trip on the Disney Treasure. So I hope you enjoyed. And as we always ask, if you do, I only ask is that you go to your podcatcher of choice and leave us a review. Any shows you'd like to hear, we would love to kind of get your feedback, and we will definitely put those into the mix. Also, please feel free to join us on the socials. We can be found at Disney with the Ducks on Facebook and at Disney with the Ducks on Instagram. So without further ado, let's turn it over to Jodie B as she walks us through her great cruise on a Disney Treasure. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got Jodie B. I'm the only duck flying, but I've got two amazing, wonderful, awesome, incredible friends. We're repping his hat. We're part of the crew. Please join me and welcome me two of my fabulous friends that I had the privileges of spending a couple of days with. Scotty G in the house. Welcome, Scotty G.
What up, Jodie B? It's Scotty G. Happy to be here once again with Disney with the Ducks. Though we might be missing some other ducks today, I'm happy to be with you because you might be my favorite. I don't know. Like if Lonnie was here, I might say he was my favorite. If John was here, I might say he was my favorite. You never know, but I like you a lot, Jodie. And I'm glad.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then the one, the only, the birthday boy who we celebrated all week long. We had some pretty epic headgear. Thank you very much, Lizzie G. Jared's crew. Jared, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Jodie. Glad to be here. I just realized we're initial buddies.
We
JB
are.
and JB.
I know. I know. We're incredible. I know.
I guess, the stars just must have aligned for us.
I know. If
I
only
feel some
everybody
friendship
else.
bracelets in your guys' future. Just saying.
Oh, yes.
The JBs.
We should
The
get some
JBs.
friendship
That could be our band name, too.
It could be. It could be. The JBs. Could be fun. All right. So anyway, we just spent an entire amazing 7-night sailing on the Disney Treasure together. And we're going to talk a little bit about it. There were times when we were all together. There were times when people ran off and did their own things. There were times when people did their own family things. There were times when all 9 of us were together. There's a great combination. So there were things that they all did that I didn't do and vice versa. So we're going to try to talk about as much of it as possible. We're not going to talk about the pre-trip or the post-trip, although that was incredible too. Just sidebar, we had a pretty epic night at Narcoossee's and watching the 4th of July fireworks on the 3rd, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about this cruise. So first of all, do either one of you remember how long ago we booked this?
I do. Yeah, I think you booked it first because I had to wait until I got back from our Alaskan cruise last year in May. So I had a placeholder to use to book this one. So I booked it probably late May, early June of last year. So
Yeah.
over a full year had passed before we were able to take the cruise.
What about you, Scotty? Do you remember when you booked it?
I booked mine after the Be Our Guest podcast cruise the summer of 2025 because I wanted my placeholder. So it's actually funny. I think it was like the day I disembarked, I booked it. And I'm trying to remember, like, I don't think we planned it to be Jared's 50th, right? Like, because this is like the week that Lindsay was off from camp. Is that how it worked out on the date?
Well, it was supposed to be the week that Landon was off of soccer. It wasn't. It was the week before that he was off of soccer. We messed that up. So he missed an entire week of soccer. The world's not coming to an end, by the way. So it was, but we thought this would have been they have 1 week a year that's the dead week. But because 4th of July was on a Saturday, we made the assumption that it was going to follow the 4th of July. And it turned out it was the week before the 4th of July.
The week
whatever.
before. Gotcha.
So,
hey, it worked out because we got to celebrate Jared's 50th.
I know. That was pretty amazing.
It's probably more crowded though because of it though.
I don't mind one bit, and I thank Landon for the sacrifice.
Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't miss much. So we all got on the ship on Saturday, July 4th, which was kind of a big July 4th. I mean, every July 4th is kind of a big July 4th, but this one in particular was really, really big because it was the country's 250th birthday. So Jared, you and Stacy were at Pop Century, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you took Disney Cruise Line transportation?
That is correct.
All right. And Scotty, I know where you were because our bus came to pick you up. Although you didn't get on. So you were at...
I was at the Disney's Polynesian Village Resort.
And you also took Disney Cruise Line transportation. And
yeah, I was a late transfer to that, just to share a little tidbit. I think it's a great tip. I don't really want to share it, but, ducks are our family here. I really like booking the Disney Cruise Line transfers now. I was always against it, but it's kind of been a hack to get an earlier onboarding group now because I'm platinum and I got group 13 without it. Then I was like, no, that's not acceptable. I'm going to spend the money and do the transfers. And it's really convenient too with like the luggage and all that. So I'm team Disney transportation now for cruises at Port Canaveral.
Well, this was the Binning family first time using Disney transfer. We've never, ever done it before. I have to admit, and I think, Scotty, you got your phone call pretty early in the morning. We got a phone call at like 7 a.m. saying, we're coming to get your luggage. And I was like, yeah, I just got to have a shower. Can you give me 5 minutes?
Right. Like, how often do you hear that phone ring? I've heard from the hotel, and then we'll talk about this on the ship. I heard my phone ring like 4 times this trip. And that's like so rare.
Well, this is the funny thing. We were in a 1-bedroom in Boulder Ridge, and I when I'm saying I just got out of the shower, I heard the phone ring and I couldn't find the phone. And the kids were in the main room with the pull down bed, and I go like scrambling that way because that's where I thought the phone was. So I'm like jumping over their bed trying to find the phone. I had no clue where it was.
That would make some great content, some video content there.
I mean, like, how often do you? Yeah, it was great. I'm sure my son was like, "Mom, put more clothes on." Anyway. So we all took the Disney Cruise Line transfer. They came and got our luggage pretty early. I think, Scott, they got your luggage really early. Or
yeah. It was like 7:05 or something crazy like that. Like the guy called me right at 7. Might have been like 6:55. And I think we were the first pickup of the day. So it made it, and we were thankful that we were ahead of time, like impacted the night before. So that'd be my advice, because you never know what time they're going to come up. So all we had to do was have like our day bag to pack, which is going to be like our pajamas that we wore and like any other like small things, that we needed. But yeah, I was very thankful we did that the night before.
Yeah,
that's right. I think they advertised that they can come as early as 7 to pick up your luggage, and definitely plan on that being the case. I think Stacey and I got a little bit lucky in that they came a little later for us, but again, we were packed and ready to go. I was actually out of the room grabbing breakfast whenever they came, so I got to see them walk away with my luggage, and then we headed up to the front. The Disney transfer service was not without a little bit of hiccup for us, as I think same kind of happened with you, Jody. Is we left from Pop Century, and we had to make a stop over at Art of Animation first, and I think I had overheard that the Art of Animation bus was broken. So I think we had to, I don't know what we were, if we were picking up people, if we were picking up luggage or what. But we had to make a little bit of an extra stop before heading over to the port. We had boarding group 4, and just that little 15-20 minute delay in getting us to the port made it where as soon as we got through the security line and up to the terminal, they were calling boarding group 4. So we got up off the escalator, saw you guys, said hi, and immediately said bye, and we were on the ship.
No. Let's just make this clear.
Did you say hi?
Hi. You went buzzing past us like you were, late for the best ADR known to mankind. You were in a full.
Isn't that what Cabanas and not Cabanas?
That never happens. That never happens. I mean, and in fairness, I do think I was waving, so I'll count that as saying hi.
We're just giving you a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
We did stop off at Poly, but I think because there were so many people at the Poly, so we were on the bus. Just to give people some idea here, they called us at 7, got our luggage at 7:20, met in the lobby at 9. We were on the bus by 9:20. Our bus went over to the Poly. We waved to the gardeners from the bus, which was super fun. we were at the port by 10:54 a.m. So just to give you kind of a timeline there of how long that took, which I thought was great. I will say I spent the next couple of hours panicking because we have air tags in our luggage, and our luggage went everywhere. I mean, our luggage went to the airport. It went to different resorts. It was at the Contemporary for a little bit. I don't know what was happening, but I spent a lot of time really panicking over where my luggage was, which
that's why I don't do air tags.
Yeah, I almost wish I didn't know because I was getting really concerned. So it arrived, but all right.
What was interesting though, just to wrap that up though, like, so yes, you waved goodbye to us while we're at the Polynesian. Then I waved goodbye to you because our bus got off like a good 10 minutes before yours. You guys just sat there forever. I don't understand what happened there, but so we were like, our bus was after you, and we still arrived to the port first, and we got off a good 10 minutes before you. So I won. If this is a competition, Gardner's won that one.
You won. Yeah. I don't know. They said it was too hot, and they were trying to keep us on the bus for air conditioning, which I find with me. So we go through security. So this also, if you have the Magic Band Plus, this is a great tip. They will check your Magic Band Plus when you're checking in there at the port to make sure that everything is working correctly. They just tapped it, made sure everything was great. It was really smooth. Like we got through there in no time whatsoever. We carried on our 2 bottles of, we had champagne, but you could have brought wine. That went through totally fine. They did check one of Tim's outlets, which was completely compatible, but they kind of went through his bag just to make sure everything was fine. So it's a pretty smooth process. So it's nothing to freak out about. Landon actually went up the stairs. He was through security and went right up the steps. And Scott, you want to tell that because you saw him?
Yeah, I was just coming from the viewing deck area. You know, when you're at Port Canaveral, there at Terminal 8, you got this nice viewing platform by the concierge area. We're just getting some photos, some videos of the ship, and then I just came back in and walking towards the escalator, and then whoop, I see this hair that I recognize like popping up. I'm like, and then like a 7-foot giant. I'm like, hey, it's Landon. Where's the rest of the family? like, did you just leave him behind? So that was kind of a fun little thing. And then it was a good like 3 or 4 minutes till the rest of you showed up.
Yeah, he was just hanging out. That's a great thing. So Scott, I want to bring that up real quick. So if you walk up the elevator and you go to the very, very end of the terminal, there's a viewing deck out there that you can see the ship. So you can do some photos out there. And then you guys did a hack that we didn't do that I wish we would have done. You went ahead and got your Disney Cruise Line photos at that point in time. I've never done that before. I always thought you had to wait till you got called to go on the ship. So
no, we always do it first thing, Jody. Yeah. When every time we go to the platform, they won't even let you get on without, because you know how they are. They won't even let you get out there without asking if you want a photo. And I'm like, well, yeah, absolutely, I do. So that's always been our thing. We get up there and we get the photo with like the ship model. It used to be like Minnie Mouse used to do that photo, but now it's just the ship model. And then we go and do the other photos. Before we can get on the ship, we have like 10 photos ready to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was bidding fail, Gardner win. So you already beat us twice this day. You know,
no one's counting. No one's counting.
But Jared really won because he was the first one on the ship.
Yeah.
Love it.
But it was his birthday, so he should have been the one who won.
Got to catch all the smells.
So Jared, what did you? Because the two of the Bennings and the Gardners got on the ship together, and we did photos in the atrium and all this. Did you and Stacy like stop for a little bit and look around the atrium, or did you go straight up to like Festival of Foods?
We did stop a little bit because in the Grand Hall where Nightingale's is on the Wish, they have Scat Cat Lounge, and they've opened that up now to where there's a little bit of a bar that is out in the Grand Hall area. So we kind of wanted to check that out. We decided not to get anything then. We also went over and took a look at the Skipper Canteen because we knew we probably would be spending a lot of time there, which, spoiler alert, we did. We just kind of took a look around, soaked it all in a little bit before heading up to deck. Went up to Marceline Market shortly thereafter and tried to grab a spot for all of us, and kind of went our own ways for lunch. Stacy stayed in Marceline Market because she has to get those crab claws on every embarkation day, and I wanted to try something a little bit different. And I went over to the Festival of Foods, Goofy's Barbecue or Mickey's
Grill.
Who does? Yeah, it's Goofy's Grill, Mickey's Barbecue, Mickey's Backyard Barbecue. That's the one. to grab some barbecue, and I took that back to Marceline, so I didn't have to eat it out in the heat and humidity of Florida in July. Brutal. It was that to me, that's a good hack is grab something from Festival of Foods, because especially if you've cruised a couple of times, the Marceline Market, the Cabanas buffet is pretty much the same every time. So this is it's a little breath of fresh air or something different.
So Jared, tell us what's it. There's, I think, 5 things in Festival of Foods. Do you remember the different 5? I
do. I think, and you got to keep me honest here, because there's Donald's Cantina, which is burritos and tacos, and there's what is it? Minnie's Pizza, Daisy's Pizza Pies. That's what it is. There is Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, which has the brisket, the pork, the rib, the pulled pork, the ribs, and the delicious smoked sausage, and the mac and cheese. Then you go around and you have Goofy's Grill, so you can get fries, burgers, hot dogs,
burgers. And you can get burgers.
I hear they have burgers there, and then I think the last is the ice cream stand, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's it. So it's a great place. It's a great addition that they brought with the Wish and extended it or carried it through to the rest of the ships, because they're all the same class.
Yeah. The only thing that I miss is the classic ships have some places where you can just get a sandwich.
Daisy's Delights. Yes.
Yeah. I miss just like a little sandwich. Like sometimes I don't want ribs and barbecue and mac and cheese for lunch. Like I just need a little sandwich, like a little something, but nothing too big. And I kind of miss that little sandwich thing.
That really disappointed Emily.
Yeah. Stacy said that exact same thing just yesterday. Is like, that was one of her, kind of go-to things for the Wonder, was just to go up and get a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's missing on this one.
I did find in the kids section at Marceline, sometimes at lunch, they would have little like pinwheels or some little tiny mini sandwiches, but not always. So it was just not every day.
Well, that was the thing, because Emily loves the fresh fruit, and you can only get it at Marceline, which has limited hours. So if you wanted some fruit at 4:00, you could not get it anywhere on the ship, unless if you did room service, maybe. But
they had, the burger place had bananas, and I think maybe like a red apple, but that was
pineapple.
Not watermelon, not pineapple, none of that stuff. So yeah, I did miss my little sandwiches here and there, but I agree. The Festival of Foods is a great addition. I enjoyed sampling around, taking all that in. So you guys, we ate, you ate, everybody ate. We all we went explore, because we've been on the Wish once, but we haven't been on the Destiny. We've been on the Wish 3 years ago. So it's been some time. So we went around. This is kind of a funny story. So I took Lindsay up to the adult area, because she's 19 now. So I take her up to deck 12, showing her around. And we probably were not more than 5 steps in that area when we got stopped by somebody in the whites. So somebody very high ranking, I'm guessing.
Had some stripes.
Yeah. Said, "Excuse me, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, we're checking out the adult area." "How old is she?" And Lindsay made the mistake and said she was 18. She's 19. I don't know why. She just got panicky. She told the woman the wrong age. Then she asked for identification. So luckily I had our backpack and I had our passports on us. So I had to pull out her passport and show them Lindsay's passport. Now, in the woman's defense, we had not been to our room yet. So we did not have our key to the world card. So there was nothing that could indicate on her card that she was allowed in that area. So, but she even asked her name, and like, she was, it was
crazy.
It kind of threw me off. Like, and there's not a lot up in that adult area. There's some loungers, a coffee bar, and one tiny little pool. So I don't know what the big deal. It's not like the other ships where the adult area is all the bars and all that stuff. Like, there's not that much there. But man, she stopped us right away. So that was interesting.
And especially the time of the day that you were there. I mean, that you wouldn't on embarkation day, the time of day you guys were there should not have been an issue.
Well, it's definitely after we got off on the ship, which was, we got on the ship at 12:15, and before we got to our room, which was 1:30. So that little bit of window of time is when we went up there and when we got stopped.
I 100% agree with Jared, because that's the time, like you said, Jody, you're exploring the ship. Adults can go to the kids club and do open houses there. Like, everyone's not doing age appropriate things. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but you know what I mean. But so that's the strangest thing of the whole cruise, I think, happened to you right there. Like, getting carded. It'd be different. It was like day 3 and you're in Sarabi doing match or mate or something. That would be a little different to me. But just the first couple of hours. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was. She was pretty aggressive about it. It was interesting. So, any other highlights? So we went to our room right at 1:30. What did you guys or?
We were doing a trivia. We were winning a trivia.
I think we did trivia, and we did a couple of trivias on that first day. We went back down to Skipper Society. I don't know. I'm gonna say best lounge on a Wish class ship.
Fair enough,
especially the Grand Hall Lounge. Anyway, we did, what was it? It was Walt Disney World Trivia or Disney Trivia.
Disney Easy Trivia or something.
Yeah, like Disney Trivia Easy Edition or something like that. And we ended up winning, which ended the Bears family losing streak of Disney Trivia. And we tied with, I think, 3 or 4 other people, and we ended up winning the tiebreaker. So that's how we won. So I say we won Disney Easy Trivia, but it's not so easy to win because everybody on those ships knows Disney Trivia. So you got to really bring your A game, and you got to nail that tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's also when we met our favorite cast member of the cruise.
Asuka.
Yeah, you guys got to know her quite well.
Yes.
So again, no spoiler alert here, but let's just say this group in particular was very good at trivia. There were maybe a couple of medals that were passed out, those nice plastic medals. I finally earned one, with a lot of help from Emily and Lindsay, but I finally got one. So well done, gang, on your knowledge there. So
I know we could be like I know this episode could get really long because we're just still talking about embarkation, but it's a big day. But Jodie, you skipped one of the most important things I think you did when you got on the ship.
What did I do?
What did you do after we were in the Grand Hall? How did you make your big entrance? You went down the slide to the kids club. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Like, I totally forgot about the slide on the Wish class. You're like, Scotty G, let's go down the slide. I'm like, are we allowed to? We're adults. And that was actually really fun. I banged my head really bad because I was just like, I just went down there like with force, and then like boom, 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 I was all rocky down there. But that was a lot of fun.
It was fun. Although I didn't, so you banged your head. I needed to pull my feet up. My sneakers were catching at the bottom of the slide. So, lessons learned. Watch your head, hold your feet up, do it the right way. Don't do what we did. But yeah, why not? I mean, it's your first day on the ship. You're allowed down there. You might as well check it out. It was super fun.
That was kind of cool.
It is fun. All right, so we checked out our room. I know Scotty and Jared, you guys eventually got to your room. Scott, I had you come check out our room before we trashed it, so you could get some video for the Must See Adventures
appreciate
pod.
That.
So or video. So that was great. Just I like getting settled a little bit. I don't like feeling like panicky. So I wanted to kind of see our room, get things. Not that we had all of our luggage, but I thought our room was a little smaller than our previous ship, and it may have been because we were in an adjoining stateroom. I did not purposely book an adjoining stateroom, but mine felt a little smaller. Scotty, you had a much bigger room than we did, and you had one less person.
I know. We should have swapped rooms because you probably could have used that extra space more. But yeah, it was the first time we did like one of the deluxe like family staterooms that sleeps 5. Mm-hmm. So it has like the pull out like Murphy bed kind of a deal. So it creates this extra space basically, which was nice. Like if we wanted to we unpack all the time, like right away, but if we ever had to get into another suitcase, it was a nice place to just lay the suitcase down and pull things out from there. But it was nice having extra space. And that was the bed Emily used. I'll tell you though, that bed was very, very low to the ground. I mean, she felt like a giant every night. She said, like getting in and out of that bed, but she found it very comfortable. And since it was different than like the other class ships, she just rolled with that the rest of the way. But she enjoyed the bed a lot.
So we talk about a lot of tips there. One of the tips that my family does is we love the hook magnets that we hang on the ceiling and on the doors. And one of the things that we do is I actually print out the day-to-day kind of agenda and what's going on, and I hang it on the door because I get really tired of my family asking me like, what day is it? Or what are we doing? Or what's going on? So I just print it out and put the magnet on there so everybody can see it. Now, sometimes we don't remember what day it is because that means you're having a good cruise. And you're like, wait, is it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? I don't know what day it is. But I do like that. So that's a little hack that we do. We like hang our hats and everything. And we, got some new hats to hang up too. So that's just one of the things that we like to do. And we also got a special delivery of some bathroom product that thank you guys for running to Target to get us to, for our family. We appreciate that. So, important.
This is what the BSTA does. We're here to serve,
Yes.
Take care of our people.
World-class service from the BSTA.
Okay. So what other things did we get into that first day? Anybody remember?
Oh man, it was a fun first day. It was a chaotic day too, but go ahead, Jared.
Well, I was going to say, we made a point to find Hook's Barbary, and we discovered maybe our second favorite cast member.
Yeah, 1A and 1B, right? It's too hard to pick favorites.
They're all number one in my book, really, and in my heart too. But that would be Craig from Jamaica, who ran the speakeasy out of the front of Hook's Barbary. He had a special old fashioned that he made. He called it the Filthy Pig, which is it's a bacon fat washed bourbon, and then he seasons it. He spices it up with some cinnamon and some orange peel, and then he smokes it and garnishes it with a sweet and spicy strip of bacon. Oh my gosh, I've lost count of how many of those that we had throughout this cruise, but we were frequent visitors to Hook's Barbary. And day one was our day one.
Yeah.
The one time that I was in there with you guys, my hair smelled like the smoke afterwards. Like I was like, what is that? I'm like, oh, I got in my.
You just smell like smoke. I wasn't mad about it though. I was like, I smell like Craig.
Well, he uses a real smoke machine too. He doesn't use one of those little vaporizer smokers that they use in the rest of the lounges. He actually uses real wood chips and real fire and real smoke, which blew me away on a cruise ship that they're using an open flame.
Yeah. I'm sure he's highly trained in that. So we all had late dinner. We had the 8:15 dining, and our first night was Coco. So who wants to talk about our first night dinner?
It just felt rushed, I will say. I'll jump right into it. And there's a lot happening, right? So first night we were doing fireworks, which is a rare thing for Disney Cruise Line to do, because Pirate Night they do fireworks, but Pirate Night is never night one. The reason we're having the fireworks, it was 4th of July. They were doing a 250th celebration. And I think they just really wanted to get people out of there quickly to be able to go to top deck to do the celebration. So I have this thing where I sit down, I take video of the menu, for the channel and all that. And I talk to people like, hey, Jodie, what did you guys do? Jared, what are you guys up to? And I don't look at the menu right away. I had no time. Like they didn't you guys agree? Like within 2 minutes, it felt like they were taking our order, and I hadn't even opened and looked at the menu yet. That's how rushed we were.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have. Like on my notes, I have what we had like 30 seconds, a grand total of 30 seconds to get seated, get our drink orders in, and get our food order in for the entire meal, right? So your appetizer, your entree, your mains, and your desserts. You have to get all of that done, and you barely even have time to sit down and breathe.
Yeah.
Side note, that bothers me, having to order my dessert like right away. Like I understand like for some of the shows, but like not to jump ahead too much. Why at 1923 do I have to tell them my dessert right away? We're not trying to time this to like a big finale show that they're doing in the restaurant. Really, that bothers me. But yeah, that's just maybe that's a Scotty G thing. I don't know.
No, I so my note said felt very rushed. Took our order in a nanosecond. Is what I wrote down. And then I said drinks took a long time. Tim's second drink came after the main course during dessert. That timing was way off. So
speaking of drinks, Scotty, isn't that the night we had the Michelada?
Oh, it was the night we had the Michelada.
Ew. I don't know why you guys torture yourself like that.
There's one thing we excel at. It's making bad choices.
Yes. That was indeed a bad choice.
It was.
I ended up chugging like 3/4 of it just to like.
I couldn't do it. I tried. I couldn't do it.
Boys.
I have a I think you guys saw it when you were here at our house, but I have this doormat that says "Life's too short to drink cheap wine" or something like that, and then it says, "Did you bring us any good one?" or something along those lines. Same thing with drinks. You all knew that was a bad drink, and yet you chose to order it again.
We chose to pay for it. We chose to consume it. Mistakes were made.
Oh, it's so terrible.
It's
So
well, it's the thing is like, was the first time a fluke? Was that a mistake? So you really can't have fair judgment unless you try it again. I should say by now we have enough experience to know that they're just awful.
But both have been at Disney, so
Yes.
Jared, do we need to go
True.
somewhere that's not Disney now?
I don't need to. Do you need to?
They're bad at Dodger Stadium too, just so you know.
Okay.
There you go. I forgot. Scott, you and I went to the Sail Away. Is it Sail Away or Sail Away?
Yeah, the Sail Away party. Sail Away is on the classic ships. I believe it's Sail Away on the other ones.
I never know which one's which.
Because they put on the Magic and Wonder, they put these Mickey hands out all over deck. So I think that they call it the Sail Away. But
yeah, it was a lot of fun. My favorite thing is when they do the horn. So it was I wrote down the exact time, believe this or not, at 4:54, the horns blew and we were officially on vacation. And that's one of my very favorite things ever. And that party, that little dance party, they were full of energy, quite exciting. I know you guys went and waved goodbye to people from the Discord server.
We were moving way before then too, though. That's the thing. Like we hustled out of there. It felt like halfway through the Sail Away party, which is kind of rare. I think it's closer to when the horn blows, but
yeah, it was a good one. It was hot as Hades up there, but
I think it's because of the fireworks too, is why we got out of there quick.
Yeah,
because I think we had to get out.
Yeah, I think you said the whistle blew at what 4:54. I think we were moving at like 4:35.
Yeah, yeah. It was all of a sudden we're like we're moving, and
your family got a great spot for that though, like right there, like kind of on the corner, like right where the characters came out.
We boxed out to make sure that we're like, oh, we're gonna stretch out, make sure
that might have been one of the hottest points of the day, because like that's always tricky because it's right after mustard, which I don't want to go on that rant. Disney Cruise Line, please get rid of the mustard the way you do it, because it just creates all these bottlenecks because everyone wants to go up to the top deck and watch the show or go to the adult pool or something. So here I am. I'm on deck 3 in 1923. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to climb, because you're no way to get an elevator. So like I had to climb up 9 flights of stairs to get up there. And then I get up there and then I'm like kind of winded a little bit. And it's 115 degrees outside. It was like, this is not vacation, but
I sat behind a man who had 3 or 4 grown daughters, and at every step he complained walking up the steps, every single step. And I was right behind him and I was listening to him the whole time. And I kept thinking, la, 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 don't listen to him. You're on vacation. This isn't fun, but you'll get there. Like, don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to this guy. But I get it. Like, it's not fun climbing 900 steps to get to the
I very much have a love-hate relationship with Embarkation Day at Disney.
You want
they could do it better, right, Jared?
Oh, they could yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that was the end of the statement. No, they could totally do it better, right? I really think their check-in process is a bit convoluted as well. I mean, it is. I don't know how you could improve that, but it's just a bunch of mass chaos on Embarkation Day. It's great. It's exciting that you're there, getting your first taste of the ship. But yeah, the in-person muster is probably the biggest gripe about it, and it's just like you don't get a chance, you don't get an opportunity to breathe until 5 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, it's like you get to your room at 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and you're still kind of waiting on your luggage, but you're like, well, do I put my swim trunks on because I'm gonna have to go to muster, so I gotta get like dried off? Do I want to go to muster drill all wet in my swimsuit? Like, the mustard just really like dampers your day. Like it's like right in the middle there. And it's just like, if I could just Royal Caribbean, you watch a video on an app and you confirm that you watched it. And then you go to a crew member, like wherever your muster station might've been, and you just show them and you answer like a question, and then boom, you can go about your day. You can do that at 12 o'clock. And then it frees up all this time. I wish Disney could do something like that. I don't know if it's because it's a family cruise line. They want parents to be more aware because they have all these kids on the ship. I don't know what it is, but they got to fix it.
Yeah.
Well, rounding out the day, because we are 40 minutes in and we're still on Embarkation Day. We did do the July 4th fireworks up on deck. That was a really cool show. It was kind of like a mini, Independence Day celebration, like they do the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, but it was on the ship. They had, a video presentation, and they had one of the what is it? The representative, the actors, or one of the coordinators from the Moana show come out and sing.
Miguel from Hawaii.
There he is. There you go. Came out and sang the Star Spangled Banner. It was incredible. And then the fireworks show. Fireworks to see. What more do you have to say?
It's so cool.
I thought those fireworks were absolutely phenomenal. I really do. I think I really liked the fireworks the day before at the Poly watching the Magic Kingdom fireworks, but I actually almost think I like these better. They weren't nearly as long, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I was on a cruise ship and had a drink in my hand. There was something special about it.
I had a drink in my hand at the Poly too.
Yeah, it's a shorter show and it's a smaller scale, but you're on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. That's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah. So then afterwards, a bunch of us went to Match Your Mate. Oh
my gosh, I don't think there was a night. Side note, I don't think there's a night where I went to bed before midnight. Maybe one night. It might have been like night 2 or 3 before like our first port day, but no, I was well past midnight every single night.
Yeah, it was a good Match Your Mate. They were good people. A couple two, they were a lot of fun. We saw them a couple times on the ship. Hey, couple two, number 2. So I thought it was good Match Your Mate. That was the first time that we had Nate. He was one of the entertainment staff. He was phenomenal. I really enjoyed my time with watching him at his different events. It was great. So anything else about that night you guys want to?
That's it. I mean, Match Your Mate is if you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. I mean, the contestants change, but it's the same show every time.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, so that's a wrap on day 1. 40 minutes into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next 2 days are kind of just it's sea days. Like we can talk about. We had more dining. We got to spend more time in the lounges. Skipper Society is where we really started calling that our home on day 2. We spent some time there, as you heard, on day 1, but then I think we started the day off, Jared, right, with breakfast old fashions over there. We got to meet Chica and Asuka some more, and then that right then is like, all right, this is our home base. Like, and it kind of literally became our home base. Anytime like our group wanted to meet up somewhere, like for an excursion or whatever, we're like, all right, we're gonna meet here at 9 a.m. the next day or whatever. It was kind of fun how that became our spot for our crew.
Well, before breakfast old fashioned, Stacy and I we had a couples massage that morning. Which we inadvertently showed up to 20 minutes late. I had it down. I had it in my head for some reason that it started at 8:30 and we were going to get a 75-minute couples massage. And we showed up about 20 after 8 and they said, where you been? We tried calling your room. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? We don't have our massage till 8:30. She looks me dead in the eyes. She's like 8 o'clock. Oh, she says, well, we can still get you in. It'll be a 50-minute experience. So, we're a little bit hurried in that, starting off the massage. So, not a very relaxing start to a relaxing procedure, but it was nice that they were able to accommodate us and still get us the massage. That's one of my favorite things to do on a cruise is at least one day go get a massage, because I don't do that in my normal life. And it's really kind of a luxurious, pampering experience, something, treat yourself type of an experience, and I just really enjoy it.
Are you together in the same room? Because Tim and I had a couples massage once and they separated us, which I don't think it's supposed to. That's not on a cruise line, on a different thing.
That's 2 individual massages, not a couples massage.
Yeah, that's he won't go back and get a massage ever since then, because he ended up getting Sven, who anyway, he has not had a massage since then, and that was about 20 years ago. So
well, on all of the Disney cruise ship couples massages that we've done, which we've done one every time since 2023, it's been in the same room.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So Scotty, how did you start your day?
As every day starts, basically, I tried to find a sunrise, could not find one. Just something with the weather of this cruise. It was very overcast every day. So then I was like, all right, I'm going back to bed. And then, because you should sleep in a little bit, right? And sleeping in is like sleeping into like 8 or something, on a Disney cruise for us, or 7:30. But we went up to Marceline Market and had a good breakfast. That's kind of what we do every day. Like, What do you two think about this? Like 1923 serves the breakfast. That's like your table service. But my experience when you go to like the sit down for breakfast, it's the same exact food offerings that they have like in the buffet. And on this class
the
ship,
fruit.
the fruit.
They have berries down on
Okay.
at the sit down. And for me, I'm a berry girl. So that's the only
Understand.
reason I go to the sit down breakfast, because if not, the only place I can get a berry is the teeny tiny little yogurt parfait. And they put 2 blueberries and 1 strawberry in it. So sometimes I get like 3 yogurt parfaits and I just eat the top of the berries off of them. And then I feel wasted.
That's fair. That's fair. And like my other reasoning would be is like people are like touching and grabbing all the stuff, or breathing on it. But it's different on the wish class because you just hand your plate over and they serve it for you. So it's almost like I'd rather just go to the buffet every day because I'm getting like the same offerings and I can kind of control it at my pace a little bit. So we ended up not to go too far ahead, but every morning that's where we did our breakfast. This is Marceline Market. Besides the morning, we went to Palo for brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, us too. I mean, we've never gone to the sit down restaurant for breakfast. And it's not that it's because the food is better at one or the other. Like you said, it's the same, pretty much the same food. It's just, the type of experience that you're wanting. Maybe you just want a slower, quieter breakfast, or if you want some blueberries. Yeah.
Where are some berries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did that one morning by myself, which was actually quite lovely. So Lindsay and I went that morning. We went down the Aqua
Mouse.
I don't know why I can't commit that to memory. And that was fun. Our wait was kind of long, but we're like, what else do we have to do? So we did that. We went to the DVC event at 12:30, which was fine. It was, no big deal. And then Scotty, we met you and Lizzie G at 1:30 for a wine tasting.
Yes.
So was this your first wine tasting? Do I remember you saying that?
I have never done a Disney Cruise Line wine tasting. And I saw, because we were all linked up ahead of time on Disney Cruise Line, and I saw you and Tim had it booked. I was like, oh, this could be a fun chance for like us to hang out with Tim and Jody. And we never done this wine tasting before. I've heard because our friend Dennis he does the wine tastings on DCL. I know you guys do. I'm like, yeah, I like wine. I like wine more than Liz. I'll say I like whites. I like reds. I like cabs. Liz is just kind of like more of a sweet wine person. But if I signed us up, I knew she was going to do it. And that was kind of great. We all got to sit together right there in Sky Cat. I had to think about I almost said Nightingales, wrong ship. Side note, I love this place. Sky Cat is, that's almost on par to Skipper Society, just to say that right now. And I had a great time. But Jody, speaking of winning, you won the wine tasting because you were smelling it. You were like shaking it. I'm not a wine expert. So you were doing all these things to the glass, like tilting it, and one nostril sniff, another nostril sniff, and you like knew every single one. I was very impressed by you.
Except the last one. I failed on the last one. But yeah, it was
that's not a failure.
He was our sommelier on the Wonder 3 years ago or 2 years ago in Alaska. So we've had Ken before. He really, really good guy. Very
Ken was great.
So I do like that wine tasting. I wish they give you a little nibble to have with it, like
a piece of cheese or something.
Something, but yeah.
Did you do the chocolate and liquor later?
We did it 2 days later. Yes.
Okay.
There's plenty of stuff for that.
There's some snacking with that one.
I was snacking with that one. So, and then our group went from there and we went directly over to Haunted Mansion. And that was great because we actually got a seat and we got to like experience it and have a lot of fun. So Landon met us there because I don't know if you guys even know this, but Landon's that is his favorite attraction at Walt Disney World. I
learned that later that day.
Yeah. Big time Haunted Mansion. So that was really important to him. And, for people who may not know, kids are allowed in the bars until 8 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., everything is adult only. And on this ship, unlike the classic ships, the bars are sprinkled throughout. The other ships, there's kind of an adult area and you really don't see kids back there because there's really no need for them to be back there. This ship, they're all over the place and kids could easily wander in not knowing that they're not supposed to be in there. So, but it was like 1:30 in the afternoon or 2:00 in the afternoon. So he could definitely be in there with us. And that was cool. I've really enjoyed my experience in there. So both of you, did you have any time in the Haunted Mansion parlor at all?
We did.
Yes, on Jared's birthday, I believe, our Apollo day.
Mm-hmm. On a couple of occasions we went in there. It's a very stark contrast to that same space on the Wish. That would be the hyperspace lounge on the Wish, which it's very sparse. It's very empty. Every single surface inside the Haunted Mansion parlor is covered with something. There's something going on. It's a very wonderful use of that space and a very beautiful tribute to the attraction.
Yeah.
100% agree. Yeah, I love the Madame Leota showing up behind the bar, the hitchhiking ghosts to show up. They have all these effects that would go on. I think Landon told us, like, your server said, like, if you're in here for an hour or something, you can see everything. I think it was actually more like 40 minutes. It seemed like it, or I was just having so much fun and time was flying by, but it seemed like it happened pretty quickly that you could like see all the effects. My one downside to it were the drinks. I did not like the drinks that they served in there. They were pretty bad. I'm just gonna straight up say they were pretty bad. And if you wanted the cool mugs, because we're all Disney fans, we're collectors, we want those mugs. Like, they were like $65. I wish I could just buy the mug almost and not the drink. But what can you do?
Jared?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna pretty much say the same thing. It's like a wonderful place, a wonderful space rather. Terrible drinks. It is, however, a full bar. So I mean, if you don't have to go off, or you can go off menu if you want to, except for the tiki mugs. But
we were told you couldn't. Like, you had to. Our server told us that we had to order off from them, and maybe it's when we were there, it was busy, and they said because I asked if I could have something different.
And what if it's different if you're at the bar? I don't know. He told us again, maybe it's when we were there, it was very packed, and it was earlier. No, that was what, day 1, 2. It was the second day. So maybe it was so crowded but he told us he couldn't make us anything different because I
guess the moral of the story is your mileage may vary, right? Because I've definitely heard, right, that it is a full service bar. You can get whatever you want. They do have a couple of beers on tap, but that was not my experience because I only ordered off, from the menu. So I don't know.
And they really pushed you on the mugs. Like,
oh gosh,
you sit down
there
at
was
a
the
table.
upsell, the upsell opportunity in there was kind of, took me aback a little bit.
And I like the servers in there. Like, Jorge was one of our favorite crew members. It was funny. Like, he never once waited on us, but we became good friends with him. So like, I know they're just doing their job, but like, it's just like, it kind of rubs you the wrong way when you sit down and then boom, they plop like 3 mugs on your table and start talking about them.
Yeah. It almost felt like a Beacon Barrel where they're trying to get you through fast, but they're not. Like, you can spend more time there, where Beacon Barrel, they're trying to get you in and out really fast. But this one, you could actually chill out. So I really liked it. I would have spent way more time there, but then we went to go do the Art of the Ship tour and learned a little bit about the ship. That I always enjoy. And there's different people who lead that tour, so I think you get different information whenever you do it. That you book. You can't book ahead of time. You book after you either get to port or on the ship. There's multiple days that you can do it. It's free. It's not a cost, but you do have to sign up to go. What's odd is that it's 18 and older, so Landon couldn't do it, and I don't know why. Like, I don't think they told us anything that was super secretive. That
not on that one, at least. No.
I don't know. So, but that was cool. We got to go walk through Coco when no one was there. We actually got to look down on Peter Pan and Hook from the back of the ship and look down on them. And that, I guess, is the only place that you can do that. So we learned some interesting things, like the carpet's different colors. And I don't know. I just always enjoy those little walk-around. So, Jared, did you guys get to do that?
We didn't on this ship. We've done it on other ships in the past. It just kind of didn't come across our navigator.
Isn't that funny? Like 7 days, you think you have enough time to do things, and you don't.
No, I needed another 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
I wish we could go back.
Me too. All right, so that night was formal night. So, and we wanted to see the show. So I actually bailed from the tour a little bit earlier. Went up and got ready. We did have late dinings, which means we had the show first. And this was the live theater show of Moana. And this was the one that I really wanted to go see. The rest of them, I was like, whatever. But this was new to me and new to the ship, and I really wanted to see it. So we were lucky enough that we all went and saw the show, which was great.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Jared, you I think had the quote after the show. You I don't know if you remember saying this to me, but we were talking about the performers, and you mentioned that one of them was really phenomenal. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, Grandma stole the show. She was incredible. Every scene that she was in, she I mean, she carried that scene. And by contrast, the actor who was playing Maui was kind of distracting as that character. Not to say that he was a bad actor, because he could, he knew his lines mostly. He knew his marks. He knew the moves. He just the way that he presented as Maui was a little distracting. Maybe not to say anything against him, but not necessarily as good as Grandma. And then Moana herself, she was, she did a great job as well. But who really, I mean, I said Grandma stole the show. Who really stole the show were the background dancers.
Yes.
They were into it. And I mean, just the passion in every move that they made was really impressive.
Yep. That made the show for me too. The dancers, the puppets, like the puppets at the end were fantastic. It was a great show. It was the only one I caught this cruise. It's kind of interesting. We always made sure we went to every show when Emily was younger. And I don't know if it's because like we're an older family now. We like to go to the adult area to go swimming or do trivias more often, but we don't do the shows as much anymore. And every time I see one, I'm like, dang, like I wish we'd find more time to do these shows, or there's more time on the cruise, because those performers, like they put their blood, sweat, and tears on that stage, and they do a phenomenal job every night.
Yeah, I loved it. It's the only show that I made Landon go to because he's not really my theater kid. But I'm like, you got it. This is a forced family fun. You're coming to this one. So,
and he had fun.
He did. He liked it. We all left the show and we did some photos. This is the other time that I thought was complete chaos. The grand hall on formal night was nutso. So it was the captain's toast, or what do they call it? The captain's cocktail session. I don't even know what the name of that thing is, but so they had drinks, but there were lines of people trying to get photos, and there were lines. People didn't know what they were in line for. It was a lot of. They almost needed like line ends here, and this is like Disney run Disney, like what you're in line for. Like this is the character. I mean, it was craziness. Like I felt a little like we just came from this great show, and then we're going to this nice sit down formal dinner, and this is just madhouse. Like I just felt like it was very chaotic. I don't know. That was my impression. You guys, how'd you feel?
100% agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was elbow to elbow in there. You couldn't move.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's because it was a 7-nighter or what, but like I thought the photos in general, the photographers were great, but some of the lines throughout the whole cruise were like really long for some of these photo sessions. Not necessarily the character ones, but like the staircase or the statue or some of the backdrops that they had. I waited in one line for 55 minutes for a photo. So like, are they overselling photo packages, or were they just because there's lots of families on a long cruise, like everyone was buying the photo package? I don't know, but it led to some really big headaches for me just waiting and spending an hour just for a photo.
Yeah. I am glad that we managed to get a group photo of the 9 of us that night, because turns out we didn't get too many of those. When I was looking through our photos, we got some, but not as many as I had hoped. But we actually all ended up getting a photo together, which I appreciate.
Informal night's the best way to do it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we went to dinner that night. We went to 1923. We were put like in this far corner booth, or not booth, but table. I felt bad for the gentleman. You guys were staring at a wall, and the ladies were looking out.
We're staring at beautiful ladies, is what we were staring at.
You had a great view. What am I talking about?
They knew what they were doing. They put the troublemakers in the corner.
Basically.
I felt like our pacing was a little bit better that night, but still struggling a little bit. Just my opinion. Any highlights you guys want to share about that evening?
No, that's my favorite restaurant on the Wish Class ships, for quality of food, and just feels more like a restaurant. I love the artifacts in there. Unfortunately, as you guys were just saying, like we're like in the corner, so we didn't have much of like sketches or artifacts to look at where we were, but still just a beautiful restaurant. I really enjoyed what they did with 1923.
Yeah, and I mean highlights the peppercorn filet mignon. I don't know. I think everybody got it at our table.
Yeah, wasn't that the joke? We were all doing turf or something.
Yeah, we were all doing turf and turf.
Just turf and turf.
But then also to the Miguel, our beverage server brought me out. I ordered a Shirley Temple first night. So like every night after that, he brought me a Shirley Temple. Well, that night he brought me a dish of cherries, of the maraschino cherries. For dessert, I asked for 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream. He brought it over and I dumped it right in my bowl, and everybody was like, "Oh, you just invented something!" Like, dude, this is my childhood right here. Cherry vanilla ice cream was my jam growing up, and now you can't find it anywhere. So I made my own.
I thought it was a great meal. Afterwards, we all went to Skipper Society, right? And to listen to music. That's where we went, I think.
Oh, yeah,
we did the silent DJ party.
I didn't go to silent DJ.
You guys did not go.
I think
we might have gone to Skipper first.
Yeah, we may have stopped at Skipper first. And then, I know what it was. Yeah, we stopped at Skipper first, and then we went to our rooms to change out of our formal clothes so we could go to silent DJ at Sarabi.
Yeah, we didn't make it because we had a big day the next day.
I missed him. I missed seeing Tim though.
I know.
Him and I with our air guitars. But
I don't know how we. Yeah.
And me, Liz, Jared, and Stacy brought the H down big time.
Oh gosh, yes, yes. Yeah, I think I think it went from late teens to early 20s straight into the 40s.
Yeah,
and skipped right over the 30s.
Yeah,
because I wasn't 50 back at that point.
You weren't 50 yet. But that's always fun. Hot. That's another comment. When our 3 families sailed the Wish in 23, it was summertime. And that's my first time on it. I know Jared had been on it a couple months before, and it was just smoking hot to me. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with the ship? It is so hot. I can't get comfortable. And then we did the Wish in February 25, my family and my in-laws. It was February, and it was so comfortable. I was like, oh yeah, they fixed the issues with the heating and cooling, and now we're back on a summer cruise. I'm like on the Treasure. I'm like, oh, it must just be the summer. It just must be these ships cannot get cool in the summer or something. I don't know. Did you guys feel that way, that the ship was hot a lot?
Oh yeah, that's totally in my notes. Is that the HVAC on those ships, the climate control on those ships, it cannot get cold. I mean, there's moments where you think, oh, am I a bit chilly? Is that cool air? And then you immediately you're sweating buckets.
Mm-hmm. I brought a sweater just in case that I'd never once put on, and Landon had a quarter zip that he never once put on. You know, I do have a hack that I use for this time, for my very first time ever. I had fans that were magnetic that I stuck to the ceiling that I had blowing on me in the evening, and that was amazing. Though I'm never going on a ship ever again without those. Like I loved those. So that helped a lot.
Listen, Emily said they got cold one night, and I don't know, maybe I just run hotter than them, but I didn't believe it. But I think they did put like a sweatshirt on one night, and I just was sweating just looking at them. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I never got cold. All right. So the next day, day 3, was our very first port day, and we had
this is not sea day.
Oh no!
Oh wait, I skipped over a sea day.
2 sea days, 2 sea days in a row.
Day 3.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Day 3 was
this
our
is
next
your World
day.
Cup day.
Yeah.
Yes, this was Monday. Whew, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. I went to the gym that morning because, funny enough, my fan stopped working in the middle of the night and I was hot. So I got up and went to the gym. And that's the morning I had breakfast by myself to get my blueberries. So Lindsay and I did Royal Gathering that morning. We saw Jasmine, Moana, Belle, Rapunzel, and Tiana. Just as a FYI, this is a really hard to get reservation. It is free. It is 30 days in advance. No matter what your status is with Disney Cruise Line, you are battling it out for everybody. I do have a hack. I think if you do it later, if you go for a later time in the cruise, then and work your way backwards, you have a better chance of getting it. That seems to work for us. But it was nice to see the princesses. And even though she's 19 and I'm well over 50, it was fun to see them. So that's how we spent our morning.
I like it too. Emily didn't want to do it. She's like, she didn't want to deal with face characters this cruise, apparently. So
yeah. Then I went to guest services because you all were doing a Palo dinner that night, and it kept showing Tim and Lindsay and I on your reservation. And so I just went to guest services and dealt with it. And then I think they called your room, Scott, right? And they asked about.
That was one of the times they called my room. Yes.
So what did they ask?
My phone was ringing a lot this trip.
What did they ask about Emily?
They asked, is Emily really going to eat at Palo by herself? Because it looked like she was by herself on the reservation. The Palo dinner was actually going to be the next night, though. Because we went because you guys went to the World Cup game and Lindsay joined us for dinner on this night on Sea Day. But
I was just trying to
yeah.
figure it all out that day. So I had time to
Yeah.
deal with guest services, and I think I wrote down the room numbers. I wrote down who was in each room number. I was like, these are the people for dinner. These are the people for brunch. And then somehow only Emily was going to a meal. I don't know.
There was just a reservation issues across the whole ship. I've heard other guests having problems, like in their navigator showing wrong names. Ironically, the last cruise Jared and I did with Liz and Stacy, him and I were on a couples massage together in the navigator app. Like, seriously, I have a screenshot of it still because it cracks me up. It says couples massage, Bear and Gardner. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with some of that. I think it's when you link your groups too. It
kind of blends them all together, I think.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started off, I think, a pretty chill morning. I think, Scott, Liz, and Stacy and I pretty much did the same thing. I think we ran into you guys at breakfast at Marceline. Went up to the Cove Cafe to check that out. We spent probably an hour in there just relaxing, having some coffee. Then we decided to put on our swimming suits and go over to the Quiet Cove pool, and probably spent an hour in there just hanging out and playing a fun, name that song game. And in the afternoon we had mixology. So that was mine and Stacy's, I think, first and only tasting of the entire cruise. It was a good time.
Well, you had one more. We did old fashioned.
Oh, we did do old fashions. Yeah.
Can't forget about Greg.
Yeah, I can't forget about that one, and that really doesn't count. That's not a tasting. That's
an experience.
That is a life-changing experience. Exactly. Mixology in Scat Cats. We had Nur was from the Philippines, was our head bartender, and Wilson and Antonio were the assistants there. Had a good time. I think we all mixed a drink, maybe. Well, of course we all did, because we had to do a layered shot at the end. Yeah. That's fun. I love doing that. Where they do the interactive mixologies where you make your own. I've been to them before where they're all pre-mixed and they just set them in front of you. That's not mixology. That's just drinking.
Yeah. It's just straight drinking.
Yeah.
I loved it. I wish, though, your backs were all towards all of us when you were up there at the bar, so nobody could see what you were doing. So I wish you were actually behind the bar so we could actually.
They used to do that at Skyline.
I know they used to back in the day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was.
It's still a step in the right direction, though. So
I totally agree. It's better than having them poured for you. All 6 adults went to mixology, which was a lot of fun. I liked, I really enjoyed our experience. I thought it was a great time.
That was fun. We learned some good drinks too. You got a new holiday drink now in our families. The one that Stacy and I made. Jared was up there making. Did you make the?
I made
the gin and jam thing.
That's right.
Yeah,
and that was good. Yeah, they're all good, and that staff. I mean, we ended up becoming friends with them too. Like Nur and Wilson. Like we ended up
Nur
seeing
and Wilson.
them night.
They were some of my favorites because we kept going into Scat Cats because they had the piano player in there, and he did a great job. So we went there, a couple of nights in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw Wilson a couple of other times too. He was great.
He's a fun Wilson's kid. In a photo with us. That's kind of funny.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we went back to Skipper Society and did some trivia. And that was the one where Landon. Remember, that's the one where Landon would run up to take a picture of the question.
I do remember that. You guys were in the circle table, right?
Well, he'd run up and take a question, and then he'd come back. And he's like, "Okay, the question is," and then read it off to us, and he'd run back up and run back, and he got his steps in that day. He's fit. He can do that.
Not gonna lie to you, that trivia is a little bit of a blur to me.
Yeah.
After mixology.
I just know I got not upset, but there was a bartender at the Skipper that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh yeah,
that day
we'll not talk about that.
Yeah,
that's the one where like we were in the booth, and I remember this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean I understand. So what happened? You guys were in the booth, and the bar like extends to that booth. So Tim and I sat at the bar. We took the 2 stools at the end, and the guy asked me like, "Oh, who's waiting on you?" We're like Oscar. And that's like our best friend on the cruise. And he's like, "Oh, well, she only serves tables, so you can't sit here." Like, I get it. He wants some new customers to make money, but the way he went about it just really rubbed me the wrong way. And the rest of so I kind of kept my eyes on him when I was in the Skipper Society the rest of the trip. And like, he never looked pleasant. I'll be real. Like, he just didn't look like a pleasant guy.
No, but that does remind me of another one of the takeaways from the cruise, right? Is like, I think we all noticed, Scott and I know you and I talked about this, how competitive the bartenders and the servers were for the customers. and I've seen it on the Wish. I've seen it on the Wish before. And maybe it's just that class of ship experience, but I've never had that on the classic ships, and I never had that on the middle ships.
Yep, I agree. It's only on the Wish class where you feel like you see that competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's because there's a lot of new crew members on this class of ship. I mean, where the classics, people tend to renew their contracts and keep coming back year after year after year after year. Maybe that's the situation, that they're new, they're coming from a different cruise line, and maybe that's the mentality on a different cruise line. I mean, I know our assistant server was training somebody halfway through the cruise who had never ever worked on any cruise line ever before. This was his very first contract with any cruise line ever, which shocked me because normally they've at least been on another line before. So maybe one of the issues with Disney growing so fast, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, so that night, we did the trivia there.
You guys treated me to Hook's Barbary. This is the night that I got to meet Craig and go up there. So.
Oh, you met Craig that night.
I did meet Craig that night.
So you got to have the filthy pig, the smoked filthy pig, of course. What did you think about that spot, like sitting in those little like loungers and those nice comfortable chairs?
It was just, I can see why you guys like it. I mean, it was a little nook. It felt like somebody's corner of their living room. I don't know. It was just really intimate and cool. And it was I enjoyed it immensely. I had to leave though, because I had to go watch soccer. So.
Yeah, intimate is exactly the word that was in my mind when you were talking about that. Is it's an intimate small space. You get a very personalized experience with the bartender there. On the previous Wish cruises that I did, that place, you wouldn't get that experience because people would be lined up 15 deep at Hook's Barbary just to get an old fashioned made. I felt that we walked up every single time and we're able to just freely walk in and sit down and chat with Craig and order a drink.
Do you think it's because it was a 7-nighter is why?
It has to play into it. It has to have something to do with it. Also, the hours are a bit bizarre for Hook's Barbary. Hook's Barbary, the speakeasy part, the bourbon bar part is only open 5 to 8.
Yep.
So you only get a 3-hour window, and it's like right in the middle of dinner, both dinner time. So
that might have worked in our advantage then, right? Like
I think so. Since we weren't doing a lot of the shows, right, and we didn't have dinner until late, we were able to just kind of go in while the early people were having their dinner. I don't mind it. It worked out great for me.
Yes. The best is though, I can't remember. Was someone getting a haircut when you were in there, Jodie? That's the best part. There's like sometimes someone's getting a shave, they got a towel over their face, and then they just hear us all talking about like bourbon and all that. It's a funny vibe. Makes you think of just like I don't know why I get this like New York City vibe. Like I'm in some like weird little like nook in New York City where like it's the mafia and they got a guy like doing his hair and then you got the bar over to the side. I don't know. It just feels cool to me,
Yeah.
It's definitely a cool spot. I liked it a lot.
I did too. I wish I could get back up there again. Unfortunately, my husband doesn't like bourbon, so although he talked to Craig a lot, asked a lot of questions. That's
what Tim does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time we do like a bourbon type of thing, Tim always asks the bartender thousands of questions about bourbon. Yeah.
I think he wants to be a bourbon drinker. He's can't get over that hump.
Yeah, you got the benefit of it the next day though, Jared. You got his scotch that he didn't drink. So
the Glenmorangie.
Yeah. So anyway, we went up to the pool deck and watched the U.S. men's national game, which they had on Funnel Vision, which I do have to say was an incredibly cool experience to be able to watch. I know, Jared, you don't like sports ball, but it's very big for our family. In particular, World Cup is a big, huge thing. So we actually had to go to Puerto Rico because there was a medical emergency. The wind was insane up there. I had on the bucket hat that Emily got Lindsay from the cruise 3 years ago. I had the bucket hat on my head and it went flying off and some guy grabbed it. Thank goodness, because it was windy up there. That for us, that was a really cool experience. Unfortunately, the game didn't turn out the way we had wanted, but it was really neat to be amongst the people watching the game on the Funnel Vision. That was pretty cool. Lindsay went to dinner with you guys that night. So she got to be Jared and Stacy's adopted daughter for the evening.
They look like a cute family. They were a cute family.
We were at Worlds of Marvel that night, and that's the first night show, which is the same show that they have on the Wish for the shorter sailings. I don't care for that show all that much. The menu is okay. It's
That was
it's,
Emily's favorite restaurant this cruise. Just the FYI, she loved the menu both nights.
the second night totally made up for it.
Yeah,
she
would agree. The second night was better.
Yeah, I did not like first night. I loved second night at Worlds of Marvel.
I agree. Other than the
That was
noodles
Emily's
and
favorite.
Artist Rock, the second night menu was great.
Yeah, that was Emily's favorite actually. But we had a weird table. So we were table number 101, and we were like when you go into Worlds of Marvel, it kind of splits off to the left and the right. We were on the right side, and bam, we were the first table, like right there. So we actually kind of had a cool view. Like if you're on the end, it doesn't matter where you were on the table, you were like looking at one of the screens really close. I could only imagine if that was like animators and it was like, or Turtle Talk with Crush, they would have been talking to us for sure because we were like right there, right next to the screen. But I thought it was a good seating location we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were a little cranky when the game ended, so we didn't do much later that night. We went to bed. I don't know if you guys got into anything.
I'm sure we did something. Probably went to Skipper Society and talked to Asuka.
That's where my notes end. I don't know what we did after that.
I know it was our first port. This is why I think this is the night where I might have not made it to midnight. It might have been like 11:30 or something. I know with my vlog with the Must See Adventures, I take a video shot of like the main TV screen as I do like my wrap up to show the time. And I think it was like 11:30 or something when we wrapped up because we're going to have finally a port day.
We actually acted like responsible adults and went to bed because the next day was...
It was not you, it was me. It's always me.